Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Moshe Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Moshe Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Moshe Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Moshe Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, this is Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking on a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Moshe Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Moshe Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Moshe Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today, available on Amazon. Missing by Mian Moshe Zia. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with an amazing lady who is the editor of National Geographic Kids, and she's got a recent publication called Kids versus Plastic: How You Can Ditch the Straw and Find the Pollution Solution to Bottles, Bags, and Other Single-Use Plastics. And yes, how you can be a waste warrior. She'll talk about that, and she's had some extended experience, and she also was involved in History's Mysteries, This Book Stinks, which I don't think so, and the Weird But True Know-It-All series, and 100 Ways to Make the World Better. And here we are, making the world better live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, somewhere along the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, the editor of National Geographic's Kids, Kids versus Plastic, the very talented Ariane Szu-tu. Ariane, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you.
Well, it's great to have you on board as well, too. So you're the editor of Kids versus Plastic, part of the National Geographic's Kids, How You Can Ditch the Straw and Find the Pollution to Solution to Bottles, Bags, and Other Single-Use Plastic. You also worked with History's Mysteries, This Book Stinks, the Weird But True Know-It-All series, and 100 Ways to Make the World Better, and also teaching everyone how you can become a waste warrior. And, of course, you've also had some extended experience with research and a lot more at National Geographic. And before I get into all that, tell us how I first got started.
So I was an editorial assistant at National Geographic back in 2012, and I've just been kind of plugging along and working my way up ever since.
Wow, that is something. And what were you doing before that?
I was a proofreader for a science journal organization called the American Geophysical Union.
Okay. And tell us more about the American Geophysical, what was it? American Geophysical Union?
Union,
yeah. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, they've got a big conference every year, a big science conference. They publish a bunch of scientific journals that range in subject matter, from physics to earth sciences to so many other sciences. So they publish like a lot of scientific papers and things like that. So I actually proofread their scientific papers.
Wow, that's amazing. And what got you interested in science from the get-go?
I was lucky enough to have some really amazing teachers. In particular, there was one from high school, Mrs. Richards, who was just absolutely phenomenal. She had such a knack for, taking really complex topics and explaining it in a way that was just easy to digest and understand.
Wow, that is something. And what part of science do you consider the most enjoyable, and what's also the most challenging?
Well, I love biology as a subject. The most challenging, some of the math equations I'm not as into. I would say that each science field, you've got to know math, and that unfortunately has not always been my strong suit. So I had to work pretty hard at that.
Mm-hmm. And then you managed to get into some writing, proofreading, editing, magazines, and everything. And how'd you manage to merge science and writing, editorial, and magazines all together? How'd you manage to do that?
Well, so I'm lucky that National Geographic publishes primarily nonfiction. A lot of our books are about the world around us, whether it's history and culture, or it's environmental science, or it's biology, or it's physics even. We've got some great books called How Things Work, and we've got some other science activity books that actually delve into physics for kids. So I was lucky enough to find National Geographic, where, it's a place that melds a bunch of different disciplines.
Wow, that is amazing, too. And, of course, you also had some other books as well, too. You worked with History's Mysteries, This Book Stings, the Weird But True Know-It-All series, and 100 Ways to Make the World Better. And you can tell us about some of that.
Oh, well, so I also have a lot of interest in history in general, especially little-known stories from history that are sometimes really surprising and really funny. So, I wanted to do this book called Surprising Stories of Everyday Stuff, and so that book sort of got its start because I think I stumbled on an article, or maybe a friend told me about how ketchup was actually this Chinese dipping sauce that
Oh,
actually
really?
wasn't anything like, yeah, it wasn't actually anything quite like ketchup that we know it, as we know it today. But, it got its start. It had these sort of ancient origins. And I guess back in that time, there were actually other versions of ketchup. Like there was even like, I want to say it was like an oyster dipping sauce or like something else that was kind of surprising to me. So I thought about, wouldn't it be cool if we had this book, or even a series that was just these sort of wild, read it to believe it origin stories of, things we use every day, and, like vending machines or roller skates or basketball or, pizza, things like that. And so that's kind of how that book came to be. And it's really fascinating and really, really funny and surprising.
It sounds funny how you talked about ketchup originating in China and Asia as well, too. And how does the ketchup, in the East compares to the ketchup we have in America?
Well, so the sort of older, I'm not sure if it was ancient. I'm kind of blanking a little bit on the exact history because I don't have the book in front of me right now. But the original version of ketchup, from way back when, was definitely more pungent, definitely less sweet. I'm not sure kids would necessarily want to dip their chicken nuggets in that today.
Or not sure if they're going to put in their hot dog, that thing. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned about surprising stories as well, too. And you talk about the vending machines and something you use every day, although it's very restricted right now due to COVID. And, tell us about maybe a little bit of history of vending machines and what got you interested. It's like, I'm sure people are ready to put some quarters in right now for a drink or a candy bar.
Yeah, I know. Oddly enough, vending machines are actually something I sort of miss, even though I didn't really use them a ton when I did have the opportunity to. But, it's the history of the vending machine is actually escaping me right now. And the reason for that is I think we have the vending machine in our upcoming Surprising Stories book. I don't think it's in the one that's out yet. So it's still in manuscript form, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it is still going to be out pretty soon. Do you know when about it's going to be released?
That's a good question. Because of COVID, we some of our publication dates changed a little bit, so I don't actually know offhand.
Okay, and also we also covered History's Mysteries, This Book Stinks, and The 100 Ways the World Make Better. And This Book Stinks. It's like, why this book stinks? I wonder about that.
Yeah, that book. So that book is actually a really nice precursor to Kids versus Plastic because, so This Book Stings is a book all about trash. It's about trash on land, in our oceans, and even in outer space. And it was actually that book is one of the reasons we decided to make Kids versus Plastic, which is sort of a more focused look at a specific type of trash, in particular plastic.
Right, yeah. Oh, man, thinking about it. Ooh, boy, I need to step away for a minute with this book being stinky. Well, I'm going to have to put on a mask here and, trying to get rid of the stink. We'll talk about Kids versus Plastic for just a minute. Oh, boy. Thank God we don't do video here. First of all, I'm going to have to do a mask here in honor of, COVID. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Okay, now taking the mask off to give a shout out to our official sponsor, international award-winning author Mian Motion Zia. If I still had the mask on, it wouldn't be a shout out. And if you love fast-paced mysteries, then you love Missing by Mian Motion Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Grab your copy today. Missing by Mian Motion Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. It's available on Amazon, Missing by me and Mo Zia. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple. Also coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the editor of National Geographic Kids, Ariane Szu-tu, here on The Mike Wagner Show, talking about kids versus plastic, how you can ditch the straw and find the pollution solution to bottles, bags, and other single-use plastics. And I hope you understand me very well when I had that mask on. I wasn't sure if anybody else did. So
yes, I did.
Okay, that's good. So although we're far from 6 feet, maybe 60, 600, maybe 6,000 miles, wherever it is.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure we keep it that way. So Kids vs. Plastic, it's basically a magazine out here. It's how you can be a waste warrior. And first of all, let's just answer the question from your perspective. First of all, what is plastic to you?
That's such a great place to start. So just to kind of back up for a minute, the reason we decided to do this book is because, like I mentioned before, we had done This Book Stinks, which is all about trash on our planet. And, it was really actually quite hard to do a book that, we, of course, when we do books for kids, we always want them to be fun. And it's like, how do you make trash fun? How do you make it engaging for kids? And somehow I think we managed to do that with This Book Stinks. So we decided to try it again with plastic in particular. And so we created Kids versus Plastic. And we realized that a lot of our kid readers, they hear a lot about saving the planet. They hear a lot about species disappearing, human action causing environmental issues. They hear that plastic in particular is a problem. But I think a lot of times kids can feel kind of helpless. And I think, being in COVID times, I think that feeling of helplessness is even magnified even more. So we created Kids versus Plastic to give kids a starting point and to give them lots of take action prompts and tips and suggestions, just easy swaps that really make them feel empowered to make a difference. And they really will be, and they'll see how they truly are if they read this book. And so to answer your question, plastic is a synthetic polymer, and plastic is really fascinating because when it was invented, it was the first time manufacturers weren't limited to natural resources, so they created their own. And, one of the things we go into in the book, in the first part of the book, is just a brief overview of the history of plastic and how it's really taken off in roughly the last 70 years or so, and
Wow.
how it's come to be practically everywhere, from our clothing to, the plastic bags at the grocery store. I mean, if you look around your room or your office, you'll probably be able to spot things made of plastic very easily.
Wow, that is amazing. And it's been around for quite some time. And how did it first get started with plastic? Because, when it was invented and where it was invented? Was it in America or was it somewhere else?
I believe, so we mentioned that in the book. I believe it was an English inventor, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was invented in 1856, and then it really took off actually during World War II, because it was at that time it was used for things like parachutes, body armor, helmets, airplane windows, and other things. And then after the war ended, plastic stuck around, and it really became a part of our daily lives. In 1959, a man named Earl Tupper invented Tupperware.
Yes, our favorite. Yes, our favorites. Yeah. Yes, our moms and dads, especially bought those to store things, and of course, moms went out and sold Tupperware. It's like that's a big association. Yes,
they had Tupperware parties. That was a thing.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's other things that they use for plastic. So you think about, plastic soda bottles, and of course, you got your plastic silverware, and you have your plastic shopping bags and plastic straws, and what else is plastic? That's another question.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we mention in the book as well, is that, not all things made of plastic are bad. There are some really good beneficial uses for plastic. For example, your bike helmet might be made with plastic. There's a lot of medical equipment that's potentially life-saving that's made of plastic. So not all of it is bad. But, just to give you a statistic, humans have created about 9 billion tons of plastic over the last 70 years, roughly. And we create 448 million more tons every year.
Wow.
And about a third of that is made for packaging that's designed to be used once and thrown away. And so when you think about that, that's a lot of single-use plastic. Plastic that's just it comes in your delivery boxes, that's used to pad your goods so that they don't get damaged in transit, and it's meant to just be thrown away. So it immediately goes into the recycle bin or to the garbage can, or however you're disposing of the plastic in your life. And the problem with that is that plastic takes a really, really long time to break down or biodegrade. It can take anywhere from 20 years to 600 years, or even longer than that, depending on the type of plastic. So the rate at which we're putting plastic into our environment, either in landfills or just in the environment in general, is much faster than the rate at which it breaks down.
You talked about having a lifespan of plastic being from 20 to 600. What type of plastic lasts 20 years before it disintegrates, and what type of plastic takes 600? I'm sure there's like different types of plastic. Which one biodegrades the fastest? Which type takes the slowest?
Yeah, so that's a really great question, and that's one of the things we answer in the book. We've got a really cool infographic in here. So we actually have a bunch of infographics in the book to kind of give kids a bit of fun visual context, maybe, well, fun, but also sort of sobering, I guess, visual context for plastic. Some of these kind of eye-opening statistics, and we're trying to put it in a context that kids can understand, and they can sort of start to visualize it and wrap their brains around it, because some of these numbers are really big. Like, for example, we'll say, like, if you gathered up all the plastic that enters our ocean in a single year, it would equal the weight of 533,000 school buses, things like that. So, so some plastic does break down much faster than others. Some plastic, you might be surprised to learn that fishing line it's the one that takes about 600 years to break down.
Fishing lines, really? Wow.
Yeah, and I think that's surprising to a lot of people, because, you think of fishing line as being so thin, it seems like it would break down so easily, but it actually takes a really long time, and it doesn't fully... so I don't know that it matters so much what breaks down faster or slower. The thing that's interesting is that when you look at plastic that has broken down and it becomes these little bits of plastic, if you see it, if you've ever looked at, little bits of plastic floating in the water, and they're all floating there together, they can look a lot like plankton. Mm-hmm. They can look a lot like other marine or sea or aquatic creatures that an animal might mistake for food. And the animal doesn't know the difference. They see a plastic bag bobbing in the water. To them, it looks like a jellyfish. Like, they might not understand that is plastic, and that's not something they should be eating. And, whether or not an animal is eating it or it's just slowly decomposing in our environment, the plastic is so insidious these days. It's practically everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the big subject about how to make the plastic, degrade faster and ensure this technology. And what is the latest right now trying to make the plastic go faster? And what are some of the advances out there that makes plastics better or biodegrade faster? Or basically, it's like, how can we help?
That's such a great question. And some of the things that we profile in Kids versus Plastic are some of the solutions that our National Geographic explorers are working toward. Just to give you an example, there's an explorer named Arthur Huang who is coming up with ways to take plastic and actually make them into building tiles. And he's actually created that. And it's really fascinating, because the goal is really to, it's not necessarily to stop using plastic altogether. It's to, take little steps even just to lessen the amount of plastic that's entering our environment, to sort of prolong the life cycle of plastic in a more controlled way. So it's not just free falling in our environment. And so whether that's taking, plastic that would otherwise end up in a landfill and using that already created plastic to make buildings or even cities maybe in the future, who knows? So those are some potential solutions. We also profile some young people around the world who are making strides to find solutions. For example, there's this young girl in Australia who is taking discarded shrimp shells, and she's making this sort of plastic-like material, but it's actually biodegradable because it's made from shrimp shells.
Oh, wow.
And she's just brilliant, and she's so young. And we profile a bunch of people like that in the book. There are also some other, cutting-edge technologies and research to suggest that, there might be, I believe it's a kind of bacteria that actually eats plastic, but the only issue with that is, what goes in must come out. So
I don't want to know, to be honest with you. I don't want to know.
So it doesn't completely solve the problem,
Oh my gosh. I think I have to think twice about going to the bathroom on that one. And where can we find your book at?
So it's available wherever books are sold. If you want to learn more about kids versus plastic, and just to mention quickly, it's geared toward ages 8 to 12. I think it could be even for older kids than that. I know I learned a ton reading it. You can also go online to kids.nationalgeographic.com. There are videos, crafts, activities, and there's even a downloadable tool that'll show how you can become a waste warrior and get involved.
That is so amazing. We're here with editor Ariane Szu-tu with Kids versus Plastic from National Geographic Kids on the Mike Wagner Show. And what's coming up next for Ariane? We'll be back in 1 minute after this time out on the Mike Wagner Show.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device, subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're here with Ariane Szu-tu of National Geographic, the editor of Kids versus Plastic here on the Mike Wagner Show. And I learned a lot from you when it comes to plastic and how can we find more information and what we can do to save plastic, the environment, and all these great ways. What can we expect from me in 2021 and beyond, Ariane?
From me personally, well, let's see. We've got a bunch of new books coming out. I'm working on one called Top Secret that's all about spies and espionage and real cases from history, like real spy stories. It's really fascinating. It's chock full of information that you really have to read to believe because, you can't make this stuff up. The real world is so fascinating and actually almost, I would say it's stranger than any any fiction out there. So this book, it's a huge compendium. It'll definitely keep kids entertained for hours. We've also got there's another book I'm working on called Segregated Skies, which is a narrative nonfiction book that's, about the true story of America's first Black commercial airline pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we've got a whole bunch of different stuff coming out.
That is so amazing. And, of course, more interesting facts to keep everybody amused. That's right. And then who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Ariane?
Oh, my goodness. Maybe my dad. My dad passed away earlier or at the end of last year, and he was definitely a big supporter and was the one who made me read National Geographic every day when I was growing up.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, wish I could do that, and many of us. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, my goodness. I would say, write for yourself, do things for yourself, remember, I wouldn't necessarily try to, go into a career just because someone tells you, oh, this will make you money, or, this is what you should be doing. If you don't love it, maybe you should pursue other things. I think Maya Angelou said something like, if you're always trying to be normal, you'll never realize how amazing you can be, or something along those lines. And, I think it's important to think outside the box, to really embrace the things that make you quirky and weird. And you never know, you might make a career out of it.
And that is very true. Very good advice, Ariane. Once again, Ariane Szu-tu, the editor of National Geographic Kids, Kids versus Plastic on the Mike Wagner Show. A very big thank you for your time, Ariane. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people check out your books?
Sure. So you can go to kids.nationalgeographic.com to learn more about Kids versus Plastic and some other books we've got, coming down the pike. You can also, there are a bunch of quizzes and other fun things there for kids. Our books are available wherever books are sold. Look for that yellow border around our books. You'll see the National Geographic Kids logo on them. And yeah, I hope to hear more from your listeners.
That sounds very good. Once again, Ariane, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to stay in touch with all your interesting facts. And, no stinky book, please. And we're looking forward to having you again soon. You've been great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.